after leaving the spectacularly moody Dolomites, it was time to head to Switzerland and our ultimate destination, Lauterbrunnen and the infamous Eiger. And one of the great things about Switzerland are the roads, not necessarily the vignette that you have to pay for to drive on them, but just the absolutely beautiful scenery that you pass, the tunnels that you drive through and spectacular bridges that you drive over, and the huge passes containing multiple switchbacks. Now en route we stopped at the Gom Suspension Bridge, which is a bridge over a huge ravine that spans 280 metres with a maximum height of 92 metres above the river. And believe you me, it moves around a bit and it's quite disconcerting walking across it without holding on. The break also gave Monty the opportunity to get out the van for a short while, and he absolutely adored the Swiss meadows. Now, it'd be safe to say that of the 3 destinations on the trip, Austria, Italy and Switzerland, I kind of took Switzerland for granted. I just assumed that I'd be able to turn up and get some great compositions of these spectacular and massive mountains. But that wasn't the case. Italy had provided the more interesting weather, and our time in Switzerland was categorized by blue sky most of the time, with only a little bit of cloud, as you'll see later on. So I arrived with high expectations, and unfortunately I don't think my photography necessarily met those expectations. And there's a lesson in there about doing your research before you go, and I in particular hadn't done enough.
Good morning, Switzerland. Hello, Monty. Oh, lovely. Yeah, I need a wash. It's early morning and we're on the bus from Steckelberg to Lauterbrunnen Bahnhof to get the Jungfraujoch barn to the top of the Jungfrau, which is about 3,500 metres, and is immediately adjacent to the Eiger. So yeah, it's a bit of a blue sky day. At least we're going to get some views. I'm not sure how good it's going to be for photography, but we're going to head up there, walk across the glacier, have some lunch, and then come back down on the train to Kleine, Scheidegg, and then do a little bit of a walk down to Wengen, well, to Mannlichen, and then down the cable car to Wengen. So Monty's really looking forward to it, as you can see. And we're currently on the bus. Swiss public transport, very nice, very friendly, very expensive, just like going up the Jungfrau. So we're trying to make the most of it. We're trying to get the very first train up in the morning. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Speak to you later. We're at the, after a 50-minute
train journey. We're at the top of Europe apparently. 3,454 meters to the top of the Jungfrauhoch, and you can go a little bit higher by going up to the Sphinx observation deck. And we needed to come outside because Wanty needed a bit of a poo, so we're going to go and do that later. The advantage of this is that most people are still up in the observation tower, and it's quite quiet out here. There's a few people about, but we're walking to the Jungfraujoch hut, where we're going to get a little bit of coffee and tea and bite to eat or something like that, because we didn't have breakfast. Anyway, Alps Glacier, largest glacier in Europe, and this is where it starts. Anyway, there's not that much oxygen here. Well, quite a lot less than down on the bottom, so it's quite hard to breathe and talk to you and walk up this hill at the same time. But yeah, not seeing any particular compositions at the minute. There's some cloud there, hopefully that might come in a little bit later. But we'll see what we can get once we've had some food, because there's not much mood at the minute, so I can have my food. Yeah. Ooh, blimey.
Welcome to the Jungfraujoch Hut, 3,650 meters high.
Well, that was a whistle-stop tour of the Jungfrauhoch. It's quite a tough walk to the Mannlichen Hut. It says 40 minutes. It actually took us about an hour and 40 minutes because the oxygen is so low up there. It was absolutely knackering. So that didn't give us much time to actually look around. I got some drone footage, and I may have got one or two images. I'm not sure. We'll see if anything pops up after this little segment. But now we're heading down to Kleine Scheidegg, which is the train interchange. And from there we're going to do a rather lovely little walk underneath, get a good look at the Eiger anyway, to Mannlichen, I think, Mannlichen cable car, which will then take down to Bingen. But yeah, see what it's like. Might try and do some photography on the way. Okay, so this morning we went to up to the Jungfraujoch, 3,500 meters, something like that, and I'm not sure whether I got anything photographically from it because it was an absolute blue sky day, and you're quite restricted about where you could take photographs from because you're kind of effectively on a glacier or on a viewing platform, so it's really hard to come up with anything particularly original. Now we've come down now to the panorama Weg, which goes from Kleine Scheidegg to the Mannlichen cable car, and this gives us a lot more opportunity for photography, but again it's still a blue sky day. If I just tip the camera up, there you go, blue sky. Really difficult to come up with anything other than a postcard shot on a day like today. Now thankfully I'm going to switch this around, and there we go, switching it around. Now, as predicted by the weather forecast, the cloud has come in. That there is the Eiger. This mountain here is Monch, and this one is Jungfrau, and we were just up there, Jungfrauhoch. And this is brilliant conditions for moody mountain photography, even if you're not actually in the mountains themselves, you're just taking them from the bottom of the mountains like we are now, although I'm currently stood at about 2,000 meters, something like that. So in these circumstances, what we're looking for is interesting details on the mountain that might make a moody shot, whether black and white or in colour, and in this particular case, or wherever the light's shining. In this particular case, this is the Eiger Gletscher, which is a glacier coming down here. That makes quite an interesting feature. There's this snow slope coming down here with this ridge line, and then there's a ridge line going up there. What we want to really wait for is for this cloud line to break up a little bit and reveal some of the contour of the mountain towards the top. Alternatively, we can turn around and we've got this little peak here, which has been in cloud now for about half an hour, and it's been coming and going, and there's a few things that we can do there, but essentially what I'm going to try and do is eliminate as much blue sky as possible, and try and get something moody that'll come out after post-process rather quite nice. And actually I quite like that. I like the way this cloud is coming up like this, almost like topping the mountain with some whipped cream or something like that. So anyway, this is my current composition, which has changed quite significantly actually since I started talking, and I can't really move it while I'm holding the gimbal, no. But yeah, I'm looking for interesting patterns in the landscape. And there we go. Right, that one's looking quite nice. It's already pre-focused, f11. There we go, and we'll see how that one comes out. And we can do this all day as that cloud changes constantly. Every few minutes the compositions will change. So yes, might be a blue sky day, but it's also with a little bit of cloud quite possible to get some quite compelling mountain images.